Hey, this time yesterday we were preparing for hail and thunderstorms. All the weather update coming up.
The future is here. Well, almost.
Drones are called unmanned aircraft systems.
We'll have all the high-flying details.
And are some sidewalks here at UNT unsafe? Some students think so. We'll have the details coming up.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV Nightly News.
Thanks for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Danielle Ibarra.
And I'm Alex Booz. Now, you know, Danny, when I drove here today, it was raining, but when I got out of my car, it was sunny. Can we predict the weather?
I know. I brought my umbrella down from my house, and it's sitting in my car right now because I haven't had to use it at all.
Well, you know what? Let's toss it over to our weather anchor, Andrew Tate, to find out what we can expect tonight. Andrew?
Alex and Danny, after those storms rolled through last night, they left some partly cloudy skies for us this morning, but the sun has poked out and it's starting to dry up some of those puddles that have kind of been gathering in the standing water. Right now in Denton, we're sitting at 68 degrees. It's partly cloudy and we have some wind gusts coming in at around 31 miles per hour. Now looking at tonight, pretty clear skies, 53 degrees, and then moving on to tomorrow, it's going to be clear skies, 70 degrees. It's going to be a great, beautiful day. Now, coming up in full weather, I'll have an explanation on why that hail that we predicted wasn't as big as we expected. That'll be coming up in full weather. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Andy. And late this afternoon, word from UNT officials that last night's storms did some serious damage to the Rafts Urban Astronomy Center. The high winds tore off the roofs from several telescope huts, and one roof landed on a neighboring property. The damage may be too severe to repair, and officials say the telescopes may have to be replaced. We'll keep you updated. And the flooding turned out to be much worse. Denton County received up to 7 inches of rain in some places. County officials have closed several northwestern roads due to high water. The currently affected roads are Rector Road, East and West Jackson Road, Eakin Cemetery Road, C. Wolf Road, and Old Alton Road.
Well, the problems of road closures are a headache for the city of Denton, but here on the UNT campus, another kind of problem is becoming even more critical.
Some sidewalks on campus have deteriorated to the point of causing trouble for some students. Julian Esparza is live with more. Julian?
Yeah, Alex and Danielle, well, those problems are something students in wheelchairs face just about every day. Now, if you take a look right here, for example, you can see this is just one sidewalk here outside of the RTFP building here on the UNT campus. You can see the sidewalk kind of angles down, and especially when it gets wet, when it rains, that poses a problem for students in wheelchairs. It gets a little slick and really does become dangerous. Now, Mark Oliphant is with the city of Denton and says they're aware that some of the sidewalks here in Denton are not perfect, but they're actively using a mapping system that will be used to eventually improve them.
Almost all of the roads around UNT are city-owned roads, and the sidewalks that line those roads are also city-owned assets. So the scope of that project, that evaluation, is to go and check all of the city-owned assets. So you will see them right on campus, in the heart of campus. But we have what's called a master GIS file, Geographic Information System, or mapping file, that they are following. And so they've got to hit every element of that, every sidewalk segment.
Now, the city of Denton only owns sidewalks that border roads owned by the city of Denton. Inside UNT, the sidewalks are managed by UNT facilities. David Reynolds is the associate vice president for facilities and says in part, the university does plan to replace the exposed aggregate pebble sidewalks around campus, and we are methodically making our way through the areas as funds are made available. The city has been responsive in our requests. Now, for now, Denton will continue mapping out sidewalks across the city, but it could take a few years before any upgrades are actually made. Now, back here at UNT, Reynolds says they work proactively to ensure the sidewalks are ADA compliant, and they are actively working to fix any sidewalks that are brought to their attention. We're live on the UNT campus. Julian Esparza, NTTV News.
Thanks, Julian. Now, sidewalks aren't the only thing under scrutiny. Texas House Representative Jonathan Strickland is proposing a bill that would ban red light cameras across the state. House Bill 1631 will prohibit cities from issuing civil or criminal fines based on a recorded image. Some cities have already outlawed the cameras, claiming they are unconstitutional. Several others say the cameras improve public safety. Here in Denton, the city first installed red light cameras in 2006 and now has a total of 11 cameras. The city currently has a contract with Redflex Traffic Systems, a contract that ends on July 20th. The bill currently holds support from 100 of the 151 members in the House. If it passes, it would take effect on September 1st. And red light cameras might not make drivers happy, but at least bike riders have something to be excited about. A new city council plan would install a safe and consistent bike lane.
But not everyone is thrilled about the parking spaces it'll replace. NTTV's Victoria Lara is live on Fry Street with the story.
Thanks, Alex and Danny. Denton City Council members have come to an agreement to shift both traffic and parking on and around Hickory Street, replacing it with a dedicated bike lane. Now, council agrees to change traffic on parts of Mulberry Street and Avenue A to one-ways. This will allow for city traffic engineers to incorporate more parking spaces and loading zones along these roads. And right now, a main concern is parking, especially for surrounding businesses. Some Fry Street business owners have already protested this bike lane to preserve those parking spots. Some have a different opinion. Take a look.
The Fry Street area is very congested. You have the university, you have multiple pedestrians, you have loading trucks. It's a busy business area.
Progress is inevitable, and Denton is becoming more bike friendly. The speed limit down here is 30, and it's just dangerous.
The city is set to continue with this bike plan that would remove about 24 parking spaces along the edge of UNT, and construction is set to resume in June. Reporting live in Denton, Victoria Lara, NTTV News.
Thanks, Victoria. And coming up, the much anticipated Mueller report has been released, and we have the latest.
And casting for a new hobby, we'll have the latest on an old sport that's getting a new lease on life.
No. What's this?
Open that. Oh.
Wait, what?
Hey.
Oh, did I not say? It's kitten season. Every spring, cats get busy. Too busy. Thousands of kittens end up in shelters who might not make it out alive because there isn't anyone to take care of them even for a week. You were born to be a cool foster auntie. Kittens are way cuter than babies. No offense. You're a little dirty, but kittens don't judge. Foster a kitten, because it's harder to give a baby back. I've tried.
I call you and say, I'm with the IRS. You owe back taxes, and if you don't pay today, you're going to jail. You can fix this by sending cash. Did you actually believe me? Too smart to fall for it? Well, last year, Americans paid $100 million to guys like me. 1 in 6 people were scammed. Can you believe it? Well, you shouldn't. I just made that up, too. You are a little gullible.
When you are in space, you can't run down to the store to buy parts. You have to improvise with what you have on your mission. Making is when there is something new that was not in existence at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
It's an incredible sense of accomplishment when you have made something. That's why I make. Now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
New developments after the release of the Mueller report. The chairman for the House Judiciary Committee is requesting the full report detailing how President Trump supposedly obstructed the investigation. This comes as a redacted version of the special counsel's report was released earlier today. The chairman has asked Mueller to testify in front of the panel by the end of May. And the Mueller report may have revealed a great deal about the Trump administration, but one thing it didn't reveal is the president's tax returns. The issue of political candidates and their income tax returns has been a hot button for both parties. While the president has not made his returns public, Democratic candidates Burton and Texas native Beto O'Rourke were some of the first candidates to release their returns. Some voters say they appreciate when candidates are open with their finances.
I feel like now it's a big deal. People want to know, and it just shows, I guess, that they're for the people, since it's what the people want.
So far, 7 Democratic presidential hopefuls have released their tax returns.
North Texas isn't the only region experiencing severe thunderstorms. Storms and heavy winds have been moving across Mississippi and Louisiana this afternoon, causing power outages and knocking down trees throughout the region. This is the same storm system that brought tornadoes and hail to North Texas and East Texas yesterday. Now, you know, Danny, these storms were honestly a major concern for us. I know I was worried about hail damage, but we didn't really see as much hail as I thought.
Yeah, no, and people are upset about it, but I'm honestly glad there was no major damage in this area.
Yeah, we definitely can't complain, but let's toss it over to our weather anchor, Andrew Tate, to find out why. Andrew?
Hey, Alex and Danny, I'll get to the hail in just a second, but real quick, let's look out towards Apogee Stadium. Wind, that 30-mile-per-hour wind gust I was talking about, look at all those wind turbines generating all that energy. Now let's look at our temperatures across North Texas. Out in Graham, they're sitting at 70. Bowie, Decatur, Fort Worth, Gainesville, they're all at 69. Denton, 68. Dallas at 60. Looking out towards East Texas, Sulphur Springs is at 67. Now let's expand to the state. Out towards El Paso, they're at 74. Amarillo, 65. Down in Houston, they're at 75. Austin is at 74. Out towards Louisiana and Shreveport, 66. Now let's look at the country, Now, Texas, Dallas area, we're around the 70s, and then where the storms that we had last night, they're pushing across the south, and they're kind of in the Nashville, New Orleans part of the country. New Orleans is at 77, Nashville is at 77 as well. Up in Seattle, all the way out here, they're at 57, and then down in nice Miami, I think I might take a vacation, they're at 60, 83. I don't know where I get these numbers sometimes. Now let's look at our 7-day forecast. It's going to be great weather this weekend, perfect for Easter. 60s, high 60s, low 70s going into today and tomorrow. And then on Saturday, 80 degrees with a low of 61. Sunday is going to be absolutely beautiful. Easter Sunday, great day to have some fun. And then the chances of rain do return going into the early part of next week. Now I want to talk about the hail for a second. Everybody predicted all that hail, and then we didn't really get much. So why is that? As those storms formed out over Stephenville and over Decatur, what happened was rising air that was expected didn't really rise up into the atmosphere, and that made the hail that did form not as big. So we saw some quarter-sized hail, but the storm sizes really decreased as the storms began to merge without the rising air that they needed. And all that bad weather is in the past, but we are in for some great weather the next few days. I'm going to send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, warmer weather means it's time to think summer vacation and heading outdoors. NTTV's Josh Skinner says one summer pastime is finding a whole new and perhaps unexpected group of enthusiasts.
I'm a sidearm caster, so I'm not really like up high. I'll try to.
Laura Ducker is a fly fisher and employee at Tailwater's fly fishing shop in Dallas, where she's worked for the last 3.5 years. In that time, Ducker has noticed more women have taken the bait.
For women, it's growing a little bit more. I think it's not just a male-dominated sport. Today, I have a lesson with a woman later on today. I just did one a couple days ago with another woman, so I try to encourage women.
According to the annual report on fishing in America, women are the fastest growing demographic in fly fishing. Of the 800,000 new fly fishers the sport has added since 2013, nearly 40% are women, far outpacing the 30% of the previous decade.
Oh, it's definitely growing. The demographic is growing a lot more.
Ducker says the initial reason was the rise of social media, which then spawned a market for gear designed specifically for women. Items like shirts, shoes, and most importantly, waders.
When I first started fishing, I borrowed my buddy's huge extra large waders, and I was just like going out there, but it's growing a little bit more. They've catered to women, and every year there's more and more clothing out there for them.
In response to growing demand, Tailwaters now offers international women's-only fly fishing trips.
South America, Mexico, Belize, the Seychelles, Russia, kind of everywhere.
So who has the upper hand when learning to fly fish?
Women are a lot easier to teach than men. Men like to muscle it, be powerful, and it's not about being who has the strongest muscles, it's about the right form, and women definitely listen better.
For NTTV News, I'm Joshua Skinner.
Alex, that seems pretty cool.
It definitely does.
Well, still ahead, we've all heard of smart cars, but how about cars having a conversation with each other? We'll tell you more.
And we'll introduce you to a group of extraordinary men that overcame extraordinary obstacles. Stay with us. That's a cool story, though.
Make-A-Wish grants a wish every 17 minutes. I know that sounds pretty magical, but in fact, it takes more than magic. It takes muscle. So, when a kid like Fabian wishes to be a superstar, things happen. Whoa! Or when Kahim transforms into Super Kahim. He feels invincible. It's because wishes have proven physical and emotional benefits that can give children with critical illnesses a higher chance of survival.
Help us make sure every wish comes true. Join us at wish.org.
It started with the original care package and millions more like it. Passed from hand to hand, across land and sea, to help survivors in the aftermath of war. As we grew, we found better ways to help those in need. Ways to make a real difference, not just today, but tomorrow as well. Be the difference in people's lives. Help deliver lasting change at care.org.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Three UNT juniors from the College of Engineering are at the Johnson Space Center in Houston this week, competing in NASA's Spacesuit Design Challenge. The students were tasked with developing a system that provides real-time visual communication via the astronaut's helmet visor. UNT's team chose augmented reality, which will not interfere with the astronaut's view. During the competition, the team's AR goggles will be tested by a NASA astronaut on a mock-up of the International Space Station. The team will be in Houston until tomorrow, when the winner will be announced. And first it's augmented reality, and now it's drones. UNT and NASA are partnering to develop a new way to control traffic. NTTV's Tim Benzon has more.
With cell phones, tablets, and computers, technology is ever-changing. One particular technological advancement, drones, can change the way we drive one day.
In fact, drones are called unmanned aircraft systems, or UAS. So the traffic management is called UAS traffic management, or UTM.
Professor Namudiri and his students are currently working on V2V, or vehicle-to-vehicle communication with drones.
They communicate directly with each other, share information about, heading, GPS location, things like that, that could then be used to determine if, for instance, a collision is imminent and how to deconflict that situation.
Namudiri says drones will not only help with communication between vehicles and their GPS systems, but he hopes one day drones can even transport humans short distances.
From Frisco and Plano to Dallas Fort Airport. So to do that, we need to have lots of regulations and policies, and especially traffic management in place, and that is what we are trying to work towards.
Over 3 years ago, NASA started the project to get drones into the sky. Recently, the university partnered with NASA to help develop drone traffic management software and hardware. The plan is still being developed.
Several complexity levels of testing has been done, especially under the leadership of NASA, and will continue until we feel comfortable and safe to have drones flying within the cities at about 400-500 feet.
Professor Namudiri and his students say they are thankful for the opportunity to partner with NASA, even though it will take a few years to fully develop drone traffic management. Tim Banzon, NTTV News.
While drone traffic management is still a few years away, Professor Namaduri explains that safety and privacy is their #1 priority. When drones are up and incoming in the sky, you won't have to worry about them. Now, the new drones will help control traffic and hopefully make daily commutes a little easier.
Yeah, but what if there was another way to relieve stress during your commute? NTTV's Tiffany Bartholomew has more on research being done for automated cars.
What if you could sit back and relax while driving and let your car do all the work? Two UNT engineering professors want to make it a reality.
We want to explore if we let multiple cars exchange data among each other, what the benefit we can get.
The professors were awarded a $360,000 grant to research self-driving cars at UNT's Discovery Park.
This is going to be a very unique opportunity for undergraduate students, particularly for those who want to do research at a very earlier stage.
The professors and their students built 2 golf carts to help research automated technology. The carts only go around Discovery Park, but that might soon change.
After the summer, the students on the main campus may see 2 cars with the self-driving capability with the UNT logos on the main campus.
The golf carts won't be the only new thing around campus. There might even be self-driving UNT buses.
UNT want to convert the car to bus to autonomous driving bus, and they ask us about the technologies and potential solutions. So I think that's the future.
As with any tech system, there is always risk of security breaches and cyber hacking, but Professor Yang says there is no need to worry.
Just like we have a secure smartphone, and we're going to have a secure autonomous driving cars as well. But it takes some time, and people and the researchers, the industry need to put a lot of effort to make it work.
There is still a long way to go before cars are fully automated. The professors hope their research programs will result in big breakthroughs. Tiffany Bartholomew, NTTV News.
Now, while those cars may be self-driving, these athletes are driving themselves towards success.
NTTV's Will Bodner is in studio with more on these inspiring athletes.
Thanks, Danny and Alex. Have you ever heard the saying, the only handicap in life is a bad attitude? Well, for these athletes, they've found a way to rise above their own challenges. NTTV's Ashley Pickle has the story.
RISE is an acronym. It means to recover, inspire, succeed, and empower.
Rugby is a well-known worldwide sport, and now an organization in the DFW area is expanding the sport even more.
It's a rehabilitative program, rehabilitative therapy. A lot of times when people get injured, they don't know what their life's going to consist of. And sometimes even just not being in everyday activities with people that are like them, that can kind of help them to learn not only how to do things, but recover mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Now, while the idea of using this program for physical rehabilitation is a main goal, there is a much greater purpose behind it for most of the athletes.
Sometimes when you first get injured, you're told what you can't do. This is our way of showing everybody what we can do.
And for others,
it's like a family, I mean, it's all fun. It's all great.
And now one very cool part about RISE is they fully encourage able bodies to come sit down and take it for a spin themselves.
Just a nice community that I wasn't aware that was available to be here. And so I was like, yes, and it's given me opportunities to explore my horizons and also just get to know my community.
For NTTV News, I'm Ashley Pickle.
These guys are great examples of success, and I've got 2 more big success stories for you later in sports.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
My mother used to say a long time ago, whenever there would be any catastrophe that was on the air, she would say, always look for the helpers. Because if you look for the helpers, you'll know that there's hope.
It was a big night for Metroplex sports as both the Dallas Stars and Texas Rangers captured victories. The Stars knotted up their playoff series 2-2 with a win over the Predators, while the Rangers got their brooms out, sweeping the series against the Angels. Both squads will be in action this Saturday with the Stars at 2 and the Rangers at 7. The Mean Green softball team is currently 26-15 on the season with an 11-4 mark in conference play. And while yesterday's game was ruled out due to inclement weather, the Lady Eagles will be back in action tomorrow against the Roadrunners of the University of Texas at San Antonio. Be sure to catch the game at Lovelace Field at 1 p.m. Last week, the North Texas women's tennis team honored their senior class in their last home match of the season. And something that sticks out about this program is not just how successful they are on the court, but the diversity that stretches throughout the program. Our reporter Shaji Adams sat down with the players and discussed their life at UNT.
UNT women's tennis continues their strong season with an 8-4 record at home. Their hard work is not the only trait that sticks out, as each player is from a different country.
It's so diverse and it's so colorful and you know, bottom line is they all have a passion for tennis. They all want to be better and they all are really, really intelligent, smart kids.
Arriving to America at a young age was difficult for them, as they had to adjust to a new setting.
It was difficult, so, but I mean, like, through the days and months, like, obviously that I learned and I started talking and speaking better.
From Croatia to Japan, these athletes arrived at UNT to just further their careers in tennis.
I didn't even think. I love the coaches. Coach Lama came to see me a month, and I was like, I'm ready to sign the papers, just send everything, and I'm gonna sign. I didn't even check school. I didn't even check the city. Nothing. I just signed the papers.
However, what they discovered at North Texas was great and lasting friendships.
This year we're having the best year, understanding, being together, playing each other. So it's fun. Very fun.
With the amount of talent they have and the team continuing to win, they feel the missing piece is the support of the fans.
We need people to come here to support us, and as every sport, it's just amazing having people here, and I think that people definitely can enjoy watching us, how we fight and just how we compete.
For NTTV News, I'm Shaji Adam.
That's all we've got for sports tonight. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Will. Well, more time on the pavement and less time in a kennel. For the past year, the Denton Area Running Club has partnered with the Linda McNatt Animal Care to give dogs the chance to stretch their legs and meet potential new families.
For Colby,
absolutely sweet dog.
The Tails and Trails 5K means more than just crossing the finish line. He's hoping to find his forever home.
Today's his day, forever home.
Thanks to the Denton Area Running Club, Michelle Camp and her family got to make Colby's dream come true.
Felt like a connection. I came with the intention of finding someone for our family.
Lucky for Colby, he ran into their lives at just the right time.
We've gone through some stuff, and so it was time for us to get someone into our lives that would be a good fit for our new family.
And just like the runners,
good boy, you're going to be a good fit for our family.
He crossed the finish line, winning the prize of a lifetime. A family to love him forever.
I am so happy. Priceless, absolutely. You can't put a price on somebody who's a part of your family.
And a quick update on Colby. His family says he's doing great in his new home. Now, you take a look at these pictures. You can see he's clearly living a happy, healthy life, and clearly his best life.
Definitely might be living a better life than me, but you know what? A race to find a dog, that's a sporting event I can get into. I don't know about you, Will.
It's probably the only race I could win, Alex.
I'm not much of a runner, so
are any of us runners?
No, but I think we're all dog people, so.
Definitely.
We're definitely all dog people. Well, thanks for watching NTTV Nightly News.
Have a great weekend. Good night.